A common somatical error that I think is relevant for all couples who are maybe new to dating or dating someone, they're just convinced that this is going to be the person in their life forever, is the idea of choosing or being in love and loving someone. And there is a distinction. When couples come in, many of them are in the stage of being in love. When you're being in love, you feel elated, you still get butterflies, you feel overjoyed. It's very emotionally charged. Where loving someone is not so emotionally charged. It's almost like you're working it, you're working for this relationship, you're making sacrifices, you're making commitments. And the reason this is important is because being in love, that feeling of falling in love, very much could turn into loving someone, but not always. Sometimes that wears off, and that's kind of that lustful stage we talk about a lot of times. And people get a little bit defensive and they'll say, well, I want to be this way forever. Well, you will have moments of this way forever if you're lucky, if you work the relationship. But when you're loving someone, it's very different, because loving someone means that you know you don't need this person. You're choosing this person. You're a whole person with or without this person. But because of your love for them, your commitment for them, you choose them. Also, loving someone isn't based on a whirlwind of emotions. And it changes through the years. It changes as you change. Just like your brain is different today than it's going to be tomorrow because you're learning new things. It's changing, it's growing, it's understanding more. That's how loving someone looks as well. So it's going to more than likely get richer, but it's also going to have times that are really down in the dumps and struggles. The feeling of being in love can fade over time, whereas loving someone is more permanent because it's dependent on your actions. You're choosing it. You're saying, because I am committed, because I married you or I committed to you, knowing we would have problems that we would resolve together, I'm that person. Whereas when you're basically being in love, you might not feel the same because you're really not choosing them. You fell into it. And now it's totally dependent on their love for you. They're reciprocating. And when you're in real love, when you're choosing to love, it's not like that. Loving someone is very different. In fact, some days you've got to love them more when they aren't reciprocating, when they aren't so nice, when you don't really want to be around them. Being in love can be easily shaken. You know, life is tough, and it can be one little thing or what you thought was a little thing. It can tear the whole thing apart. Whereas loving someone is not that way. It is strong. It's a power of two people sharing the load together. This shift that I talk about a lot, I talk about it because it's so important in the stability and the longevity of your relationship. And it is possible. But in order to take being in love to loving someone means you need to put yourself second. You need to elevate this person to the same level as you. You need to commit to the relationship, good or bad. You just say, you know what? We're in this together and we're going to figure it out, and we can figure it out. The transition is real. Most relationships start with this falling in love thing. But how long you stay there has more to do with your practicality, with your ability to be emotionally mature enough to have kind of gone through a list in your mind, watch this person enough, and decide if this is a person that you want to love. If this is the person you're choosing to commit to and love forever. And oftentimes talking to friends, family, and a therapist can help you make that transition more smoothly. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.